Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Karuna, and in this video we are going to learn about how to make circles and how to make circles in perspective. So let's start. So I want you to focus first at this circular lid. Okay, so it's a circle you see over here, and now this is a circle, right? But when I just move it this circle like that, you see it has turned itself into a oval kind of shape. So this shape has a name, it is called as ellipse. So it's an elliptical shape. See, the more I turn, the flatter it gets, and it's not a circle anymore. So how to make these things accurately when you're doing your live drawing and when you are making something from your imagination. So let's start. All right. So first let's learn how we can make a simple circle. All right. So for making a simple circle, what do? We know that a circle is something which, like the center of the circle, it is equal to the circumference like through radius. Okay, suppose it's a circle and you make a center, so it's equal, right? The distance is equal and that line is called as radius. So how do we achieve that? Okay, so let's learn it. Okay, so what we have to do first, we are going to make a square. So this is my square. Let's say, okay, I think this looks fine. Okay, this is our square. Now what we have to do next is we have to find the center. So if we have to find the center of any shape, like any shape not, but a square or a rectangle, what do? We simply make diagonals. Okay, that's how. Now this point, you see, this point is the shape basically. The center point. Alright. Now what we have to do, now I told you about that radius thing, right? So from here, I'm going to make a line. And from here, I'm going to make another line. Like that. This is how we get the center of the circle, which is like this. These four, the purple lines I have made, these are basically the radius. They will act as a radius because these are equal, right? So let's make our circle. So I'm not going to go very complicated way. There are ways, but let's just do it simple way so that you can remember it forever. Now what we have to do, we just have to join these four corners. Okay, now when you are doing that, make sure that you are basically making long curves like this. If you make it like that, you won't get confused. Okay, starting it can be a little bit problem, like it can be a little bit hard to get this accuracy, but yeah, the more you practice it, the better you'll get. Or okay, there is one more way to do it. If you are a beginner, suppose I'm making a square again. Okay, and now diagonals, the center lines. Okay, now I have got them four. Now what you can do is just connect the lines like that. Now make sure you're using the center lines only. Now I'm going to switch the color. Just make your circle over that. Something like that. Okay? And that's how you can make a good circle. Alright. So there are the two ways you can make a circle. Okay. Now let's see how we can make the same circle and convert it into an ellipse, and how we can go for that. Okay, so for that, it is simple, like it's just the rule what we have to do. Suppose I have got these two things, I'm going to put it up here. Now we just made the circle using a square, right? Now let's just use this very same thing and make our, like, use it in perspective, like I talked about. I showed you this circular lid, and when I just put it like that, now it's in perspective, right? You can see the depth. So when I'm just putting it like that, so if I'm making my circle in a square, then I have to make my square in perspective as well. So let's make it. So you all know about horizon. You can check my first video in perspective. This will help you to understand perspectives better. Suppose this is my horizon and this is my vanishing point. Okay. Now this is my front side of the, let's say this is my front side of my square. Now I'm gonna make orthogonals. Now you know that. How do we make orthogonals? Going towards the vanishing point. So in reality, these orthogonal lines, they are parallel lines only. But as this shows depth, that's why the parallel lines, just like our brain, basically they get them as they are going towards a certain point. Like I'm going to show you this rectangular sheet I have a painting. So now these lines are parallel. When I'm holding it like that, now see, they look like they are going to converge and meet somewhere. This and this line. Now this shows by this, I am holding like that. So you see that this shows it's showing depth, some certain depth that you can basically just walk along the plane, yeah? Something like that. So that's what we are doing. So it's a 1-point perspective thing we are learning first. So these lines, they are going towards a certain point and that is our vanishing point. So that's what we are doing. This is the front side. Here, these are the orthogonal lines going toward the vanishing point, this and this. And as I have already told in my previous video, let's make the back side, which is just like the front side only. So this is like my back side. Okay, so now I have made this. Now see, next step, we just have to follow the same step. So it's like we have to draw the diagonals now. So let's draw the diagonals, connecting corner to corner. Okay. Now I've got the center point. Now this is the center point of this square or this square. Okay. Now what are we going to do? I'm just gonna make a orthogonal because this is again a straight line. This is supposed to be a straight line just like that. But as it is in perspective, it's gonna be orthogonal now. This is my line and this. Now you see, I have got these 4 center lines again, the 4 points, this and that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use these same points again and make my ellipse. See, it's like that. Try to make the line curvier. The more curvier you make, the better your lines will get. Long curves. See? Yeah, that's how. That is your ellipse. Okay. Now there is one more thing, one more rule. So you can see that your ellipse is going right or wrong. And that rule is basically, so when you make your ellipse, something like this, no matter which direction you are making it. And if you make a line in the center, this line is called as major axis. So when you just look at the upper side and the bottom side, they both look similar. Yes. Now if I just make a line in the center like that, that is called as minor axis. Okay. It is the shortest line and the major one is the longest line you can make in the ellipse. So you see the left side is equal to right side. They look similar. That means your ellipse is going right. Okay. Now let's come back over here. So what I'm going to do, suppose I already made an ellipse. And let's check that the ellipse we have made looks right or wrong. So something like this. Alright. Now see, if you have made an ellipse, you can always just brush up the sides. And see, now you're done with it. This is my major axis and this is my minor axis. It kind of looks like similar from both opposite sides. If not, just make it similar. And here's how you can get a good ellipse. All right, you can make it in any direction. This was a lying ellipse, like a horizontally axis ellipse. Now let's see, like if our circle, like if our circle is like that, if our circle is like that, and I'm rotating it like this. Okay, what happens then? Again the same thing. My front side, vanishing point, back side. Now one more thing, when you're making your square, so you do not make your back line over there. Why? There is a reason, because otherwise if you just make it too long, it will look like it's a rectangle in perspective, not a square. And circle is always made using a square in perspective, so remember that. So you always have to make this little smaller than the front side. Okay, something like that. Let's just follow the same thing what we did just now. Orthogonals. Oh, sorry. This is supposed to be the diagonals. I've got the center point. This is my center point. Let's now make the center lines. This and this, of course. Now this shows the depth, this side. So this is going towards the vanishing point. Okay. Now I have got these 4 points. Now let's take a different color and let's basically make our you just have to make sure that your ellipse is basically passing through these 4 points. See? And that's how you got your ellipse. You can make it in any direction. Alright? So yeah, that's how you can make your ellipse. So in the next video, we are going to learn how to make cylinders using this ellipse. So yeah, that's it for this video. Do practice it. And before drawing the actual ellipse, there's a little warm up I would like to recommend. Just make ellipses. So you know how to move your hand. The more ellipse you make, the better you'll get. Okay? Thanks for watching. And if you do like the video, please hit like and subscribe.